Well, hello there, guys. We're going to be playing a little bit of Strategic Command World War I again. We are continuing off our Kaiser, or Will of the Kaiser save. And we got a lot of really great feedback as to what we should be doing. The first thing we should be doing is getting our Navy back. I think we've done enough damage to the British fleet, kind of proven our point. And now what we need to do is get our Navy back to these ports to start repairing it. Again, it has done a great job, but I think it's time to head back home and make sure that we don't completely lose this Navy. So let's do that. Pretty much get these guys into ports, spend some MPP on repair, and decide what to do from there. Now, I might still try and fight a few of the enemy ships here. I'll keep a few of our guys out here, specifically our destroyers, because I don't think they're going to be as helpful as the rest of our Navy. But it's quite clear that we're going to have to move these guys back and probably build some more ships here as time goes on. Let me just take a look. I don't think we're also going to be pressing on the western front. We've taken Ypres, the main capital here, or the secondary capital of the French, excuse me, of the Belgians. So I think at this point, holding the line is probably the most important thing. If I can entrench, I will. I think we're probably going to have to wait till next turn to do that. We've done a lot, actually, this turn. So let's kind of see how this works out. Let's see. Now, over here, we could actually do quite a lot of damage and also maybe switch out the unit, but I'm not sure it's worth it. I'd rather reinforce these guys. And again, just make sure that we are very, very strong here on the line. We've already started researching infantry warfare, a bunch of different things. I think the next thing we want to research is probably going to be trench warfare. In the meantime, let's rally up for the cause of the Kaiser. And of course, if we can get some decent attacks, we'll go for it. Though it is pretty risky here. I think it's best for us just to reinforce our current position. First, let me make sure there are trenches here. If not, then instead we'll entrench in this area. Really make this ours. Join the Kaiser's army, boys. Now, my biggest concern is actually over on the east, the Eastern Front. We got some really good advice, though, from several players of the game, which is just pretty much hold as long as we can. But once we feel we need to retreat and get out of this area, we need to be able to reorganize our army. In the meantime, we will keep fighting the Russians, but we obviously can't really beat them, at least not in the way we're imagining. There's so many of them. There we go. Destroyed one of their armies. There's so many of them that the best thing we can do is reorganize pretty consistently. Of course, reinforce our units when we get the chance. And when we get these opportunities to deal some damage out to the Russians, of course, we should take them there. As you can see, he's almost down completely. We can send in another Austrian unit. We're going a bit past our limit of where we should be going. And hell, we could even try and... But see, I know better at this point. I know we have to stay put. Gotta let that Russian unit get away, unfortunately. If we had the bomber over here, we might be able to have done something, but even then, I think it's quite unlikely. Again, leaving Bosen is not an option, but I do feel we have to fall back with some Germans to try and retake the area. In the meantime, we'll keep fighting with the guys we have here. Let's actually bring in some of those air units. Hey, how you doing, Dave? Good to see you, man. Been too long indeed, my friend. We haven't been doing much Twitch lately, man, but the good news is that recently here on the YouTube channel, this has been, I think, the best 3 months we've had so far. In terms of subscribers, we've only gotten 200 subscribers this month. I'd like that to increase, but in terms of viewership and all that, it's been pretty good, so... I think we're going to stick with the streams here for now. Eventually, I'd love to go back to Twitch. Just seems that, you know, folks actually stop by the streams here on YouTube and don't seem to do the same with Twitch for whatever reason. So, kind of just a hard reality I've got to face. Now, let's go ahead and get some trenches near Königsberg. No, we've got them, but I don't know. I definitely don't want to move forward and attack the enemy here. I think we're playing it cool. And what about Serbia? There's virtually nothing we can do in Serbia. It looks like a pretty decent attack here against the Serbian detachment, but I really think that our Austro-Hungarian troops are just going to be stuck here forever. We'll at least go ahead, reinforce them. And wherever there's a decent opportunity for us to come through with some good results. I'll take it. But even this may or may not be worth it. Let's take a look at our research. I think our research is fine now, but I want to make sure our Austro-Hungarians are also researching the same stuff. Not bad. We also want to research command and control. So I'm going to boost this. So this improves, it refers to improvements in overall military doctrine. That's definitely something that's going to be quite important to us, and I'll do the same here for our Austrians. Unfortunately, they have insufficient funds. So for now, we'll just have to keep things like that. As for the Pola, I'll try and fix that ship here at the port. We'll do the same. We'll reinforce the Kaiser Karl I armored cruiser. Because we're not doing very good in the Mediterranean. It seems that the enemy is kind of in control. We'll also try to fix our Vribus dreadnought here. As for our submarine, though, I really just want to raid the Allied lines. Oh my goodness. Enemy troop found us. Can we get out of here? We can, and we can still continue to raid the Allied trading areas here. The Western Front remains pretty calm. And of course, taking Ypres, I think that's going to hurt the enemy a lot. Let's hope so. Now, we've also got Ottoman units, but I'm not sure at all what to do with the Ottoman units. Sorry, David, just saw this. Let's take a look here. Yeah. Oh, nice. You were in El Salvador. That's amazing, man. You know, my mom worked with FMLN. Victor Regalado, he was a radio operator working with FMLN. I guess they're still in power or in control now. It's an amazing country. I'd love to go. Very dangerous, though. Very dangerous. You're, I think you're a brave man for going at the same time. You know, with MS-13, this sort of stuff. All right, let's go ahead before we end the turn. Oh my goodness, if we could take Nancy, and if we could hold it. See, that's really the toughest part, is holding Nancy. They're probably just going to reinforce this area, but this is a dream, of course. In fact... My god. Can no one get through? Nobody can get through. We did at least destroy an army near Nancy, but they'll be able to just reinforce it next turn. That would have been an amazing steal, especially if we could build entrenchments around it. But unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a little bit before that's even a possibility. Alright, ending the turn, folks. Let's hope that that taking of Ypres will really crush the national morale of the Entente. Hey, Elliot. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, awesome. Wow. Belgium surrenders. That's what we're looking for. Assad, Russia's gendarme mobilized in Tirana. So this is in Albania. Albania is having its own sort of uprising, and they have joined the Entente. Not a great thing, but at least Albania is a tiny country. The problem is Italy is also going to probably join the Entente. Chief of Staff Helmut von Moltke resigns due to ill health. Sorry to hear that, Helmut. Alright, here we go. 329, not bad. Well, San Salvador is really the capital, no? So you kind of went everywhere everywhere else except the capital itself. Oh, here we go. Excellent shooting, but yeah, we really do have to get our ships out of here. Eventually, they will outgun us, so it's best that we repair our fleet. We've done a great first turn against them, destroying a lot of British ships, but now it's time to get the hell out of here. A lot of our MPP is going to be going into repairing our navy, unfortunately, but you know what? I think it's a necessity. And as you can see, the French have already moved troops back into Nancy, despite us doing quite a bit of damage there to it. Really hoping that we could have moved in there. During the day, no problems. Yeah, that seems to be definitely the right course of action. We might need to redraw the lines on the Eastern Front. It looks like the Russians are pushing through that one gap. We might need to do something about that. Here we go, some French air support. The French are starting to bomb us, and so are the British. The air war has begun. Now, this area is not yet entrenched. They're gonna throw everything at us. Yup. They may be able to take back Ypres. Maybe. I think we've got Ypres well under control, but at least the road in front of Ypres. So we want to try and stop that. Look at this. The French are desperate, just throwing wave upon wave of units against us. They really are trying to stop at nothing. Here the Russians are going to be testing our Eastern Front line with the Austrians. As long as we can hold for a few turns, I think we should be okay. Give us time to mobilize some more units, but they're going to take that cavalry out. No, they can't leave Lille open. That would be insane. Yeah, I didn't think so. Hold on, boys. We've got some brave men here, guys. Holding out to the very end. You gotta stop by Lisbon next time. That's what you gotta do. There is Memel. We've held Memel for so long, and if we can hold it again, that would be amazing, but I think they finally will break through this turn. Since they'll get that. Yep, they'll get that attack with the cavalry. Sort of pushing us out of the city. The front still holds, but not by much. It's kind of holding by a thread. Oh yeah, that I don't like. Getting closer to Berlin, we're gonna head north. We can cut them off as well. And take the fort here, but they're still, you know, they could still inch their way closer to the capital. Maybe, what do you guys think on the Eastern Front? Maybe we completely pull back. Yeah, absolutely, man. Try to make it happen. It's an easy place to get to, easy enough place to get to. No serious passport checks or anything. Looks like the Royal Navy may try to chase our ships a little bit more. Okay. Wow, still more attacks, France? That should be enough, I think. So the question is, do we pull back to Königsberg or try to hold this eastern area? I'm not sure. I think we pull back. I think we pull back. Can't hold it all, unfortunately, but my biggest concern is, ooh, well, that's nice to know. First of all, we should always have a unit at Berlin to defend it. So we'll put that unit there. We're going to come up from Posen. Sure enough, we've got the enemy cavalry right there, and I think we can make short work of them. But what I'd really like to do is completely cut the enemy off. Nice, move into that zone of control, and this will be, it'll be a little easier to fall back like this. The question is, how far back do we want to fall? First of all, we'll reinforce these guys. So we'll fall right in front of Königsberg. I'll put this garrison unit in Königsberg itself. Move these guys back. Build some entrenchments. From what I've heard, this is the best way to approach this front. It's just to essentially fall back whenever you need to, entrench, etc., and then work from there. We might still have to get aggressive with these other Russian units, but I think it'll take more than one turn for his reinforcements to actually arrive. So I'm not too concerned. Although, of course, the more units we could get here, the better. Look at that. Not bad work by the 20th Corps. I wonder if we should put them back in Gaudenz, or if we should hold right here. Yeah, pretty much. We want to keep a line that we can actually, you know, hold for an extended period of time. This area, though, is totally open. That's what kind of concerns me. This area right here. So I'm going to keep this guy right there, but I will reinforce him. Let's take a look at this front here. This one I still feel pretty safe with. And usually the Austrian front is the kind of the craziest one, but I feel like we can actually do pretty well over here. Yes! Very good work. I'm not going to push my luck, though. I think that was good enough. Although, we've got a Russian unit down here. Here, I will push my luck. Also pull this guy back. Some pretty decent attacks there against the Russians. The question is, how much are they really going to help? And can we move this guy up into that area? Because I don't want to move him down here. Yeah, no, we're not going to leave that area. As for the Serbs, let's reinforce the units right there on the border. They are not liking the fact that we're this close. And I'm going to attack Dragunovac again. Just one reinforcing unit. Look at that. And actually, it's the first Serb army we've destroyed in this entire campaign. And I'm definitely not going to rush in there and get killed. In the meantime, we'll reinforce these other Austrians. We're going to at least force them to reinforce some of these units. I think we want to keep them. But another thing we can't forget is fixing up our navy. Even the Austro-Hungarians are going to try to fix this navy up to engage the Brits and win back the Mediterranean. What I was looking for at all. Let's reinforce here. Get the Virbus units destroyer here. Just keep an eye here. It's sort of the heel of Italy. And see if any other units are coming in. It would be better to keep an eye on them with a sub, but we don't have subs to be thrown around like that. In the meantime, let's also reinforce our units here on the front line. Especially the guys that have already seen combat. It's time for them to get some rest, although he is okay. He's not too bad off. This guy desperately needs reinforcing. Can only get him back up to 8, however. Now, the attack on Lille could actually lend us some possibilities here. We're going to attempt it. And the reason being, they have cavalry there. Cavalry is a bit easier for us to break through right now. Problem is, taking that city, although that would be amazing. Oh, we can get an infantry unit in there. Never mind. I was going to say we can't defend it with an infantry unit, but we can. The problem is he cannot entrench. He'd also get a pretty good attack on any of these other units, but I'm not going to push my luck. So let's get over here, hold that zone of control, and it's only with a unit of 8 troops, so not exactly the best. They could easily take that area up in the north, but we'll try to get our cavalry in there. We can actually dish out some damage even before the turn starts. I think that's probably not a bad idea. Alright, let's take a look at wonderful Navy. Somebody corrected me. It's not the Kriegsmarine right now. Sorry, guys. My phone is insane. I need to get a new telephone, so I'm going to be typing a lot of crazy stuff because, for whatever reason, the damn thing can barely be controlled at this point. Oh, man. Jeez, I think I even deleted Dave's messages. Hold on. This thing is so... Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to get out of this and actually control this from my screen. Hold on a sec. Jesus Christ. Sorry, Dave. Let me fix this. Yeah, just the damn cell phone is so... Unhide. Is so messed up right now. I really do need to get a new phone. Like, it starts typing by itself. Yeah, Dave, let us know that you're back. I'll just have to use the PC here. I was kind of hoping that I would be able to check via the cell phone, but no way. Alright, so maybe an attack southwards here. I mean, again, it could really do a lot of damage. But I fear that if we can't replace the losses quickly enough, it's going to be a problem. God, this phone is just a nightmare. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Dave. That is just... Oh, talk about, like, when you have a bad cell phone. I'm just going to turn it off, as a matter of fact. It's so bad at this point. This is an iPhone 6 from, like, quite a few years ago. Yeah, I'm just going to power that off. Screw that. Sorry, Dave. I hope he can see us now. Alright, so we could either get into Luxembourg, or you know what, again, I'm thinking we attack. If this unit can take his place, we have a chance to destroy an enemy army. Yes! Now the question is, do we push and try to take that area? No, we can't. Zone of control is kind of out of our area, but man, that was pretty amazing. Reinforce these units, and we're also going to reinforce the Navy. The amount of money this is going to take is going to be pretty extraordinary, but it must be done. And in fact, it's time to purchase some new units. We're getting a little low on units there at the front, although a detachment, I don't even think it's worth it. I'd rather just wait until we can afford something better. So in the meantime, we're going to stay put, pretty much keep things going here. And what else can we do? I'll probably have to contact Dave after. I'm so frustrated by that. It's not the worst thing this phone has done. I ordered an Uber meal yesterday, and it was like, oh, network error, your Uber meal cannot be sent. And then it came through, and I ended up paying €22 for something I never got to taste. So, yeah, I feel like I'm going to probably throw this thing in the garbage. It's really becoming a problem. Okay. I think that's about it. We've fixed all of our ports. Would be nice to strengthen that unit, but that's not going to happen. I'll at least get our bigger ships over here to our other ports in safer areas so that they're not in danger of being destroyed. We really don't want to lose, like, any of the armored cruisers. They're pretty good. And I think that's it. Oh, we got a submarine. A submarine could try to sneak through, but I think we'll hold for now. Any other units we can reinforce? No, I think that's going to be it. We will bring our planes over to Brussels, and not so much because it'll allow us to bomb enemy units, but more so because we'll be able to defend against some of the enemy air attacks that they've been launching. Oh my goodness, we could actually rush right into Serbia right now. But I get the feeling that they'll have some units waiting for us, so we'll hold off on that, and we'll end the turn. September 26th, French morale falls due to the loss of Lille. So taking Lille is huge. If we can hold it, that is French territory in under our control. It would be absolutely huge, but I think they're going to throw everything at us. G-192 hit by rough seas. Alright, so we do have some Entente units north of Scotland. We could send some destroyers there to look for their subs. The Merits Rebellion Boers revolt against British rule in South Africa. Yes, our Boer allies. Good to hear. Max Planck and other prominent figures signed the manifesto of the 93rd to support Germany. Okay, good to hear. King Carol of Romania dies and Ferdinand ascends to the throne. Not sure if that's going to be good or bad for us. I must say that my knowledge on World War I is far surpassed by my knowledge on World War II. I know very little about World War I. Pretty much the date, I can figure out the date, and that's about it. Let's see if Dave can type here. Here we go, that should work. I just made him a moderator. Alright. Oh, I hate this phone so much. Sorry about that, Dave. There you are. Sorry, man. This phone has just gone insane, man. You have no idea. I'm actually turning it off, like, just so it doesn't happen again, because I actually went out of YouTube and it went right back in. It's kind of like a car. Like, once it starts, like, everything starts breaking down nonstop, it's time to get a new one. And that's certainly the case with this damn phone. Okay, the Mediterranean remains a hotbed of naval action, but I'm surprised that we still are a actual fighting force here. That's what really amazes me. I think we're going to keep moving our line back, although that's going to mean potentially losing Königsberg, and I don't think we can give up East Prussia without losing a lot of respect. So we'll have to see what happens. There's a gap behind our lines as well. We've got to fix that. So those supplies are not getting in. And I do apologize to anybody watching because I'm obviously going to have to kind of alt-tab a little bit here and there to see the chat. And I'm trying not to break immersion in this campaign. That's why I kept, you know, I didn't put the NATO counters. I kept the realistic counters here so that it really feels like we're watching an actual map of World War I here. So try to be quick about that, viewing chat, etc. Oh yeah, they're going to hurt us in Serbia. The Serbs do not like the Austro-Hungarians. See how this line east of Prussia holds? They're slowly closing down on it. We might have to just make a circular defense. And that feels a little too much like Stalingrad for my liking. So I'm thinking maybe we abandon Königsberg. I don't know. One unit, they're going to try to take Nancy back, and I think they'll succeed. Or Lille. Oh, maybe not. They did not attack Lille. They attacked the unit next to Lille. So it's still under our control, which is quite amazing. Now they're going to attack it, and they're going to bring in some British troops to attack it as well. 12 in that British group. That is insane. Hold, boys. Don't surrender. That is going to be one of the toughest places to hold that I can possibly imagine. Almost seems like maybe giving it back to the French might be the best thing to do. Or we'll reinforce and see if we can hold it, but I'm not sure. Force them to just throw wave after wave of Frenchmen against it. Try and zap some Russian units here on this front as well. But maybe, I don't know, if we start doing really well here, if we can knock out like 3 or 4 of these guys, maybe we can send 1 or 2 of our units, especially the cavalry, north. I still think the Russians will have these areas defended, but imagine if we could cut off their rail lines to the front. That would be devastating. Hey, how you doing, Robert? We're still using the phone here, but I'm trying to just exit as quickly as I see the message. Going back. Could give nothing to the French, he says. Yep. German morale is boosted by the use of unrestricted naval warfare. Of course it is. Forces from Canada and Newfoundland shipped to Europe. Isn't Newfoundland part of Canada? Was Newfoundland not part of Canada at this point? I don't know. Anyway. Entente naval units, yeah, that's going to be a problem. We could send some destroyers up there, but I don't even know if it's worth. Lieutenant Charles de Gaulle returns to active service after recovering from a wound. Oh, he's not yet very important, but one day he will be. Charles de Gaulle, leader of France. Okay, we've got some units to drop, some submarines. Certainly need those, and a blimp, not necessarily useful, although I will admit it scares the hell out of the enemy. So the blimp I'm actually going to put on the western front. As for the reserve corps, yeah, we definitely need to put them on the east. Let's put them here. And von Mackensen, yeah, it's actually good for us to have a general east of Berlin. Now let's have this reserve corps retake all that land. And let's see if we can't trap us some Russians. It's raining. It's hell outside. Perfect time to catch them. He can actually move into that spot. So here's what we're going to do. A little switcheroo. Oh, that's right. They've attacked. We can still do something here. We're still trying to retreat, so let's see. That would leave this area open, but you know what? One unit's not going to be able to hold it anyway, so we'll probably shift our units as we retreat here. Do an organized retreat, if that's even possible. Although here we're still holding Königsberg, barely. Alright, men, you shall wait, entrench the position, it's already entrenched, and just hold to the very end. This position is not entrenched. Alright, we're behind the trenches here, but Königsberg is open. So we're going to put this unit here. I just can't leave Königsberg. I can't do it. Just to be safe, we'll move von Kluck back here with von Hindenburg. And we'll move von Hindenburg into Danzig. But I'm really hoping that we don't have to lose this city. At least not now. It's too early. Now, what about the units here? It's best to reinforce. Maybe we can flank with our cavalry. Not bad. Beautiful. Another Russian army destroyed. I'm hoping that the Bolsheviks will get upset soon and revolt. Maybe early, because we are destroying a lot of Russian units here on the front. It's about as bloody for them as they could expect. So that unit looks like we do more damage to it, so we're going to dish it out. Let's just hope these guys don't rotate quickly. And what about the Serbs? Looks like the Serbian front, not as many of our Austro-Hungarian troops are able to get to it. We're gonna have to rotate this guy north. We'll take a look soon and see how that research is coming along as well. right. And you know what? Maybe even engage some British units here in the Mediterranean if we can spot them. If not, I'm going to play it cool. I'm also going to play it cool with our German units, but I will try to send some destroyers north, and I'm going to send some submarines north as well, although we don't want to drop our subs in this zone, because this is actually the zone coming to our own ports. So I'd rather not lose it. I'll also send a light cruiser up there, start inspecting the situation, and let's get another good old battle cruiser, a stronger ship up there. I'm sure the British are going to have some units waiting for us. In the meantime, we'll keep trying to repair the rest of these guys. Karl Wilhelm II. And the rest of these guys, I'm going to keep them in port. Even our armored cruiser, that's right. Robert Roberts says, Newfoundland was a separate colony during World War II. Oh, interesting. After the war, it voted to join the USA because of the happy experience of American bases. They voted to join America, so Britain obliged and made them vote again between independence or Canada. I had no idea that. Wow, that's really interesting history, man. This is what I mean about me not knowing much about World War I history. World War II, I could talk about for hours, but World War I, I'm definitely less aware of. I'd love to get into that defended area, but it looks like the Russians are probably going to take it. Ooh, that's right. We've got our units at Krakow. You know what? I think it's time to purchase some more units. Let's get some core. Mountain core look interesting, but right now, I'm more interested in just standard core. 2 core. And as for our Turks, again, I'm not really sure what to do with the Turks, except maybe attack the British over here, or potentially try to move into Russia over here. They're not yet at war with either, so we have to wait a little bit. Hopefully Bulgaria ends up actually joining us, so let's see how that works out. And we'll end the turn. Oh, that's right, we're going to take a look at our research. It's going okay. The Germans have a lot more MPP to use. We could actually boost our spying and intelligence and some logistics as well. Yeah, I'm going to get some logistics going. Alright, let's end the turn. Von Spee defeats the Royal Navy at the Battle of Coronel. Yeah! We did it! Sehr gut. German morale is boosted by the use of unrestricted naval warfare. We've done very well in terms of the naval warfare side of things, but of course now we had to retreat and sort of fix our ships. Hopefully we'll be back to do even more damage. You can see the mines being placed there by the Entente right in that area. They don't want us trying to get in here at all. Fear of German raiders upsets trade from the British Empire. Oh no. Alright. Von Lettow-Vorbeck defeats the British in German East Africa. And Herbert Hoover organizes the Commission for Relief in Belgium. Come on now, Herbert. So we're getting closer to infantry weapons. It's a rainy day in the UK. And it's also actually a rainy day in France and parts of Germany here. So maybe not much fighting will be going on today. And the Anzacs, the Australians and New Zealanders, have set sail for Europe. It's going to be another thorn in our side. Well, the British have appeared in the Mediterranean again. That is unexpected. And at least we've repaired some of those ships, so hopefully we can give them a good fight, but our Austro-Hungarian Navy is just not as strong as our German one. This is the first time the Russians have fallen back. That doesn't make sense. They've got to be sending forward some fresh troops. They are actually falling back. And Königsberg is still under our control. Now, they have taken Memel in the Baltic, but let's hope we can hold the rest. Oh no, down to 4. Really devastating attacks by the French. I didn't even think they would attack with all this rain, but they absolutely did. Let's hope they don't occupy that space at the very least. The ring around Königsberg is breaking, and I think they're going to retake Lille. They have retaken Lille, so we have a few options here. We could try to fight to get it back, or maybe just hold our positions at this point. Well, good on them by the French. They had to use a lot of troops to do it, but they certainly succeeded. Even here in the south, we're having some issues. We are going to probably have to switch some troops here. I've put too much focus on the eastern front, and now this western front has become kind of neglected. The Russians are just going to go ahead and switch out units as they see fit. I was worried about this, although this guy's in trouble. If we can attack him with all of these Austrian units, we destroy another Russian army there. They're getting closer to Königsberg, though. They're pushing for Königsberg. So what do you guys think? Do we let them keep Lille? You guys decide in the comments below. Interesting turn. Very interesting on the Western Front here. I'm glad I called this episode Bloody Bloody 1914, because, yeah, a lot of blood has been spilt just in the retaking of that city on the Western Front. So many men must have died on both sides, maybe in the hundreds of thousands. Alright, getting a little bit muddy out here now. The weather is getting worse. We're getting into winter here, and it's going to get pretty cold pretty soon. Our agents in Morocco believe that the tribes of the Rif are ready to rise against the French. Yes, of course. There's a British tanker called the Glindveer that was interned at Danzig at the start of the war and could be converted into a seaplane carrier. No, I'm not going to authorize that conversion because we could use our MPPs elsewhere. Alright, let's see what you guys said about Nancy. My AMW, how much of the UK Navy is left? Not much. I think we've destroyed a lot of it, but people have warned me to be careful with the UK Navy and to pretty much keep my distance. Yeah, just reinforce behind it, Dave Juju is saying. I think you're probably right. I think we were a little too cocky in taking it. And in fact, they're getting close to Brussels. What I might do is attack it just because of its proximity to Brussels, but potentially not take it, if that makes sense. This guy's at 1. Look at that. Some brave Germans to the front. That's what I'm looking for. And you men, are you ready to fight for your country? Okay. Same thing here. We'll try to entrench. Nice. And if we can get a little bit of artillery fire, why not? Yep, I'm going to hold that position. I'll reinforce here. Or we could also entrench. Let's entrench. I think entrenching might even be more important to reinforcing right now. Unfortunately, we can't switch with the entrenched unit, which sucks. Here, reinforce. Plenty of Germans still willing to fight. And Nancy lies ahead of us. Now, this is the area I'm really worried about. Down here. This is quite a fortress. In fact, we're going to make the French pay for even coming here. If he can move just one more time, in fact, we'll make this work. Not an inch of land is lost, men. Not an inch. I wonder. Ride them down, first cavalry. And we've got another French army shattered. We want to pay them back for all the damage they've done. Of course, we got those rail lines open. We'll let the French reoccupy them without a problem. Not too concerned about that. I'm just glad that we put up a good fight. You know, still a lot to be done over here on these fronts, of course. I mean, this is a nightmare. In the meantime, I think we can destroy this Russian army. And I intend to do just that. Wow. Incredible work by the First Corps. They certainly are the First Corps. We could even move up and attack the Russian general here, but I think that would probably be a mistake. The best thing to do is, as we know, entrench. This is World War I. Entrench everywhere we can. Smash through them, boys. I want to take that fort. If I can. I guess it's not really a fort, it's a town, but you know what? It makes for a decent defensive position. I think Königsberg has to be abandoned, brothers. We'll fight for it as long as we can, but I don't think the fight's going to last very long. What do you guys think? Reinforce Königsberg or fall back? We'll, of course, reinforce it for this turn. But I really am not sure it's a realistic goal to hold. Or we could even move these guys out here, extend our front line. It might work, but we still got this open area here to the south. I think we get a little aggressive, start moving forward, retake those fortified zones. Not necessarily extend our line, but fortify it as best we can. Unfortunately, a lot of these guys cannot be reinforced this turn. It's going to make for an interesting next turn. In fact, I'll go ahead and dish out some damage to these guys so they don't even dream of attacking us. And we could also push the guys at Graudenz over here. And yeah, we would have a pretty decent front in the east. Of course, we are purchasing more units, and we should probably try to purchase more units whenever we can. Let's take a look here. Kraham Keshkin. Hey, Grub, I was wondering whether knocking France out by taking Paris in 1914 is feasible or not. I'm sure it's possible. You know, in these strategic command games, I think just about anything is possible. But I'm not sure it's likely. Hey, Icon Rostov, how you doing, buddy? As for these guys, yeah, I think we just hold the line. Oh, yeah, you guys missed a bunch. We had just played a ton here. About 48 minutes worth. But welcome. So I'm going to get our Navy back out. They're reinforced. I think they're ready to party. Still have to reinforce some of these other ships, of course. Let's look for some more British ships. We had a great first battle. We won that major battle against the British. I think we can just keep on getting some great victories here. It's not the Kriegsmarine, so I know I shouldn't call it that. But does anybody remember the name of this thing? Let's also get our destroyers up there, see if we can find their subs. There we go. Not a sub, but an enemy ship nonetheless. An enemy light cruiser. Here we go. That's why we brought the Moltke battle cruiser. We've got our submarines on the way too. That unrestricted naval warfare is continuing, you bet. In fact, I'm even going to send my dreadnought up there. I didn't want to send any dreadnoughts up to that area, but you know what? I think I'll make an exception here. Got a lot of units here behind the lines that have seen a ton of frontline combat and desperately need to reinforce. Here we'll just entrench. Again, trying to grow those entrenchments again. And I think that's going to be it for now. Still not sure if that blimp is going to do absolutely anything for us. Seems kind of useless. Now, if we could retake Thorn, well, that would be similar to the French retaking Lille. So I am going to go for it. But I don't think it's going to be possible. Nice attacks nonetheless. We can't even move any more of these units, otherwise we'd bring the unit down from Graudens to attack, but that just ain't gonna happen. Alright, folks. November 21st. Now we're definitely going into winter. Boosted by the use of unrestricted naval warfare, Max von Oppenheim, the head of our intelligence bureau for the East, informs us that the Indian Nationalist Gaulle Party are plotting to drive the British from their country. Oh yes, this we definitely want to support. Our colonialism is okay, but theirs is not. Italian nationalists claim Centro and Trieste as Italian territory. Now the Italians are going to declare war against us. That is not good. Alright, Karl Liebknecht openly denounces the war in the Reichstag. The Spartacist Karl Liebknecht, also with Rosa Luxemburg, of course. This is an interesting time in history. Looks like it's still raining pretty badly here. They really are not stopping in the Mediterranean. Oh, they brought up a dreadnought. I'm kind of happy we brought up ours. Now we can actually get a real battle going up here, but it looks like they've got 2 dreadnoughts. Yeah, they have heavily invested a lot of their navy here in the north. So maybe we stay away from this area. I think so. 4 British dreadnoughts. Yeah, they definitely have a lot invested in this area. What do you guys think? Do we attack it or stay away? Obviously, if you guys here are in the live chat, you can give me some feedback, but if you guys are watching this video afterwards on YouTube, just after it's been uploaded, feel free to drop comments in the, or drop suggestions in the comments down below that we can still follow. Always love to hear feedback. In fact, I don't think I would have even taken this approach if not for the excellent feedback. I would have already lost East Prussia, 2 turns ago, so this is not bad, but let's face it, World War I is always pretty bad for the Central Powers, so we've got a lot ahead of us. close to Christmas. Although those national morale boosts for destroying big ships are not helping us. Hold, men. Hold. The French are really going crazy. They must have a lot of reinforcements. They're trying to take Brussels here. And by God, they might just succeed. Even the Serbs are attacking here, so it's open season here in the early months of December. Excuse me, the early weeks of December, to go ahead and attack us everywhere. So let's just hope they don't retake Brussels. I won't be too upset. How about that? There's that eastern front opening up. That means we have to shift the defensive front southwards. I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case, but it's obvious. We just can't watch this entire front all at once. Unless we get some reinforcing troops that we could drop there, it's going to be, you know, a definite move southwards here. How do you guys think we're doing so far as the Central Powers? Again, let us know in the comments. It's always good to get some feedback. Don't forget here, guys, those of you watching the live stream, to hit that like button and do anything you'd like to assist the channel, but hitting that like button definitely helps. Sharing on social media as well, always great. Okay, the Royal Navy defeats von Spree at the Battle of the Falklands. Von Spree won the first victory, but unfortunately not the second. And Brussels is still in our hands, thank God. A typhus epidemic breaks out in Serbia. Ah, this is good for us, as long as it doesn't reach our Austrian troops outside of Serbia. Gott mit uns. Having completed his training, Ernst Junge is sent to the front. Okay. First thing I'm going to do... Oh, we've got some units. Okay, so actually, we'll reinforce Bosen. And we'll reinforce Breslau. And more importantly... these guys own a field in Belgium, which is disgusting. This area must be held. We'll keep entrenching around Brussels. Alright, look at this. The British have brought up the Marines at this point. British Marines to try and put a stop to us. We're still not really reinforcing the Western Front. We're pretty content with what we've got. I think we can hold it. Alright. Oh, thank you, Icon Rostov. You're the man. M-stab in the back, never happened again. JPEG sarcasm. I was wondering whether... Oh, yeah, I think we looked at this already. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Icon Rostov. I really appreciate that. And the little poop. That's good, too. Again, guys, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment down below after we upload the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you guys are enjoying this kind of new format for this kind of campaign where I'm just doing it on live streams. If I was more, you know, less lazy, let's say, I would probably just put up a schedule so you guys would know when I'm doing this. But keep in mind that even if you come in late, you can always just rewatch it once I've uploaded it. But I think this is cool because it kind of gives you a chance to watch the live stream and also, you know, give some immediate suggestions, some immediate criticism, whatever the case may be. Thank you so much, Icon Rostov. He just paid for the stream. That's about the price of a YouTube stream right there, hour-long YouTube stream. I really do appreciate it, guys. So I'll catch you on the next one. Hope you enjoyed this battle, and or this part of the campaign. And I hope you're looking forward to the next one. Good to see you too, Dave. Sorry about the cell phone going crazy earlier. Awesome to see everybody. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Glory to the Central Powers, and more importantly, to the Kaiser. To the Kaiser.